if you earn or have enough to invest. Save and Plan will allow us to work with nearly anyone from young professionals to retirees looking to travel the world. Save and Plan is simple. Just sign up to save on a systematic monthly basis directly from your account and gain access to a planner and our planning services. Once you sign up, Polaris gives you a customized financial plan, a real person to speak with, and information to help you make good financial decisions. Your dedicated planner is just an email or phone call away. Save and Plan offers empowering advice for everyone. Visit us at polarisadvice.com. Call us today at 312-951-2606 or email us at polarisadvice.com. That's 312-951-2606 or email us at polarisadvice.com. Save and Plan, empowering advice for everyone. Securities, insurance, and advisory services offered through FSC Securities Corporation. Member FINRA SIPC. Insurance services offered through Polaris Insurance Agency, Inc., which is not affiliated with FSC Securities Corporation.
Hello, this is Jade Phillips, and I'm a management consultant in Chicago. I listen to the family meeting.
This is Jason Brown, General Counsel of Dyson and Howard University alum. I listen to the family meeting.
Welcome to the worldwide headquarters of the family meeting. It's family meeting time, y'all. I'm your host, E. Michelle.
Yes.
Thank you so much for that news, girl.
Welcome, welcome.
That's right. You're getting good, too, by the way.
I'm getting good.
That's right.
Thank you.
Right.
I'm trying.
Yeah, Michelle told us all about social media. Find us there, will you? Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Threads, and TikTok.
Oh, I don't.
There's so many. We're actually on LinkedIn technically, too, but that's, is that considered social media? I don't
Yeah, I think it is. Everything's social media.
Everything is social media. As that's where the conversation continues when we're not here. Visit those places, subscribe, follow, and stuff that you do on those. On TikTok, you don't follow people. Do you follow people?
I follow people everywhere.
Okay, well, you do that too. Follow do TikTok too. Also,
Virtually.
be sure to visit that webpage, tfmradioshow.com. It's going to be new, apparently.
Yes,
I hear tell.
Give us a couple of weeks. It's going to be nice.
Yeah, with it's
coming along
and everything. Mm-hmm. Look at Michelle, girl. Look at Michelle.
Don't tell me to go, because I'll go.
She's going all right. Gone already. TFMRadioshow.com is the site. You'll also find archived broadcasts, our music playlist, and a live link for the broadcast going on right there, right now. TFMRadioshow.com. In the Space Shuttle cockpit controlling everything is Bob Longstroke here. Where's Bob Longstroke? We don't know where he is. He's not here today. That would be Paul. It's just Paul in there. Paul. Right. Yeah. Hey, man, on that website, tfmradioshow.com, you can become a patron of our broadcast.
Yes, please.
Mash that button, become a patron for as little as $5 a month. You can keep us on the air. And check this out. Michelle just hit me up. We're going to give you stuff.
Yes, we are. I'm so excited. We're going to get swag. Yes.
So mash that button and get stuff, will you? tfmradioshow.com. The lines fill quickly. The number is 773-763-9278. 773-763-9278. Hey, Michelle.
Yes.
So I told you on the way here, my boy Gerard was in town, right? And I told him that he's dumb. He's dumb.
No, he's not.
See, here's the thing with Gerard. You got to know. And I'm going to get a text in a few minutes. He's visiting this weekend from San Antonio. He's from Chicago originally. He is supposed to be like a pastor down there in San Antonio, which is cool.
Yeah.
Me and G, we go back 35 years. Right? I was in his wedding.
To have. Oh, yeah.
And everything. Married to Renice, but for her, he would have hair growing on his back. So he, when they got married, it's a testament to the stressors that marriages have. He and his wife immediately, like the next day after their wedding, they moved to Japan.
Wow.
Renice was in the Navy.
Okay.
So she was stationed in Japan. Like the next day.
Wow.
They went to, or she went, and then he eventually went to Japan. Mm-hmm. And they were in Japan for, I don't even know, he'll tell me how many years, 10 years or whatever the case is. And the reason I say it's a testament to the stressors of marriage is because he and I both attribute the fact that he didn't have no family around in their ears for the first 10 years of their marriage. So it was just them. Mm-hmm. Amongst people a large number of people who they didn't speak the language for. And she was on a naval base, of course, and had Navy people, but socializing in the city and so forth, no, it's just them. So they had to work it out. They had to grow together. That's cool. And to this day, they're like two peas in a pot.
Thick as thieves.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Yeah. So they went from Japan to Alaska.
Wow.
They moved to Alaska for a number of years. Gerard has been on here with us before. Some of you may have heard him. So he lived in Alaska for some, I don't know, 15, 20 years. He was a realtor up there, all kind of things. Wow. Which is cool. It's an interesting experience. Incidentally, his daughter, she wanted to take a vacation. She wanted to go somewhere cold for a vacation. That's insane.
Well, was she born in Alaska?
Yeah. She used to see a moose.
That's why.
And elk and all that kind of
It's
stuff.
her natural element.
So he brings his crazy behind here to Chicago, and he's complaining, why do we have to pay to park?
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, right? What kind of country ass? Of course you pay to park.
San Antonio is pretty progressive, though. They have lots of people, and
I don't know where that came from. But that wasn't the worst part of it.
Oh, no.
And I told you, G, I was going to tell him what you said. I told you, man. He is complaining about paying for parking, and he goes into Starbucks. See, don't you see the irony there?
I do.
So you don't want to pay $20 for parking.
But you pay $100 for a cup of coffee.
Thank you for saying that. Thank you. Right now, let me see if he sent me a text on that already. I know he did. Yep.
I was trying to be on his side, but I got to go with you on that one.
You're going to pay all that for Starbucks. Gotta have it, right? Gotta have it.
Gotta have it.
It's insane. He's insane. He's going back to San Antonio today. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Oh, you don't mean that.
I do. Get out of here. Get out of here. Beat it. Amscray. So check this out, man. Last week, the last conversation we had last week was on my mind this morning.
Okay.
After the State of the Union and all the talk of Biden's slip up on calling a person an illegal, the whole notion of an illegal or non-documented and the term the border. I mean, really, if you look at the entire picture, this is all about, I don't know, we should just take the money and adjust ourselves to injustices. Just take the money and make do with the injustices. I mean, it's basically a bribe. We live in a bribed society. Almost everything you can point to that is not going right has something to do with somebody trying to get money.
That's true.
It even to the point where they will obscure or avoid the history and context of situations. I know I'm talking abstract now because I'm data dumping on you.
Okay.
I saw a story of a English teacher in Oklahoma on television this morning, and she was afraid to, because they're banning books, of course, in Oklahoma, because they don't want the story told. Here again, obscuring or avoiding the history. She's afraid to tell the story of that's depicted in this movie that's out now, The Killers of the Something or Other.
Flower Moon or something like that.
Yeah, that movie.
With Leonardo.
Yeah, where it's another instance where these people, I dare call them people, have characterized what they did west of the Mississippi as exploration and settling the West and brave frontiersmen. All that stuff is an attempt at obscuring the murder, mayhem, the rape, the theft, all those things are characterized as settling the West, which is an attempt at obscuring the actual history, and banning the books that tell the actual history is another attempt at of obscuring the history. And so she's afraid to tell the story because there's a law in Oklahoma that says that you can't make people feel bad about their race. So they don't want you to tell that story. We watched that happen in Tulsa, Oklahoma, where people were basically, some of them were killed, but others threatened if they decided to tell the story of what happened in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Look it up if you don't know what I'm talking about. So it's just another story of that. So you add to that all this conversation about what's going on at, quote, the border. And think about that term for a second, the border. When you hear the border, when you hear illegals, when you hear undocumented, just pause for a second and tell me the face of the person that you see when you use those words.
A brown person.
Of course you don't. It's a Ukrainian person, right?
I see a brown person.
Right. Not a Polish person?
Nope.
How about that Italian?
Nope.
How about the Chinese people?
Nope.
When you're in Chinatown having dinner?
Nope.
You don't see none of those?
Nope.
You just see the brown
Me
people?
personally, I just see brown people.
You don't see any Canadians?
Nope.
Don't see none of that.
Nope.
So when people use those words, they're really saying brown people.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, for sure.
Right, because they're not running around rounding up Ukrainians or Canadians.
Nope.
Italians, Chinese.
Nope. Polish.
Polish. None of that.
Nope.
It's just the brown people. You don't want them here. They taint the blood, as your boy, the Orange Menace, says.
Oh, yeah. Ugh, God. I cannot.
It conjures up one thing. So what this country, what the colonial powers, including this country, have done is effectively they've run up to the house, they've thrown a toxic smoke bomb into the house where there are women and children and innocent people, and they close and lock the door, and they're standing the dumbass outside complaining that people are banging on the door trying to get out.
Trying to get out. Yep.
You see that now. It's a toxic smoke bomb in the house. Now the people want to get out based on what you've done. And you're sitting around complaining and trying to come up with laws to prevent them from coming out of the house.
Coming out of the house, yeah.
And so I took the opportunity when I saw this poor woman, this poor English teacher in Oklahoma, struggling with teaching full history, of just taking a look at the mayhem and the chaos that this country has created all over the world, but more specifically in Latin American countries, South America. So some of these I knew, but there's a bunch of them. I knew about Panama, for instance. We know about Noriega.
Right.
I had a cat that worked with me. My man Rolando, who's not with us any longer, was my father's assistant for a lot of years. Mm-hmm. Really good dude, man. Dude used to write me checks back when I was in college. He would sign my old man's name, everything. Man, that was my man. Anyway, he's from Panama. Mm-hmm. And so when the U.S. decided to go get Noriega, and Noriega allegedly went up into the forest or something, and he was hiding like an outdoorsman or whatever the case may be, Rolando said, listen, give me $10,000. I'll go find him for you. He said he knew those woods or something like that. Rolando, you got a bad leg. You can't go out there and find that man. But that was in the 80s, or the early 90s or something, when they chased Noriega out of there. That was the only instance that I could find. And I'm sure there's others, but that's the only instance I could find this morning where this country went in and advocated for the removal of a dictator.
Yeah.
And almost in every other instance that I found this morning, and I'm happy to hear any others. Now, I'm not trying to characterize this as being the absolute history of South America. But in every other instance, this country went in and advocated for a dictator. It makes you wonder, okay, why are you doing that? You're supposed to be democratic, right? Aren't you? Isn't that what you're supposed to be?
Well, yeah.
I'm going to run down a couple of these so you can see the chaos that this country created. The smoke bomb, the toxic smoke bomb they threw into these countries. And now we're trying to figure out how to close the door and not let the people out. 773-763-9278. Stay tuned for more of the Family Meeting.
What I'm feeling. Your love is so incredible. I can't see letting go. It's never even crossed my mind.
I'm Zena Tina Smith, the owner of Masters Plus Tutoring Program, and the family meeting will be right back.
Hey Chicago, are you always on the go? Take the new Shy 311 app with you to find the information that you need, submit non-emergency city service requests, and much more. Download the new Shy 311 app, built with Chicagoans for Chicagoans. That's Shy 311 on the App Store or Google Play, or check it out online at 311.chicago.gov. Stay informed with Shy 311. It's your gateway to Chicago services.
A basic and essential part of any financial plan is savings. Most of whatever cash you have will be there because you put it there, not necessarily because of some fancy investment. Now with Save & Plan, Polaris has introduced a way for you to get empowering financial advice. Save & Plan is simple. Just sign up to save on a systematic monthly basis directly from your account and gain access to a planner and our planning services. Once you sign up to save, Polaris will help you develop a customized financial plan and give you a real person to speak with. Your dedicated planner is just an email or phone call away. Save & Plan offers empowering advice for everyone. Visit us at polarisadvice.com and call us today at 312-951-2606 or email us at polarisadvice.com. That's 312-951-2606 or email us at polarisadvice.com. Save & Plan, empowering advice for everyone.
Securities offered through Lion Street Financial LLC, member FINRA and SIPC. Investment advisor services offered through Lion Street Advisors LLC, registered investment advisors. Polaris Wealth Management and Lion Street Financial are not affiliated.
A 2016 study estimated that 13.1 million Americans were victims of identity theft last year. Fight back against your identity being stolen by signing up for Identity Guard. Identity Guard monitors your credit and identity information with alerts that can help you respond quickly if certain changes indicating fraudulent activity are detected, as well as help protect your computer from viruses, key logging, and other serious threats. Plus, with Identity Guard's dynamic credit management resources and tools, you will have helpful information as you make better financial and credit decisions. Identity Guard includes $1 million identity theft insurance and lost wallet protection, and more if you ever do become a victim. Protect your ID for as little as $6 per month. Yes, that's only $6 per month by visiting lookaftermyid.com. That's lookaftermyid.com to securely sign up for Identity Guard today.
Yeah. Here it is. She caught me by surprise, I must say, 'cause I never had seen such a pretty face with such a warm and beautiful smile. It wasn't hard for me to notice her style. I was fascinated, surely. She took my heart and held it for me. I wouldn't let her get away, not until she heard me say,
excuse me, miss, what's your name? Where are you from? Can I come?
Hi, this is Taylor Townsend. I was #1 junior in the world in 2012. You can follow me on Twitter at Taylor_Townsend without the D. And welcome back to the family meeting.
773-763-9278. That's 773-763-9278. So, I've been noodling around a question for our audience today. And I still don't quite know what it is, but as your mind rattles around trying to figure out this quote-unquote border thing, where's the intellectual curiosity? Are you curious at all about why these people are traveling thousands of miles at their own personal peril, risking the well-being of themselves and their children to get away from something? Are you the least bit curious about that? And if you are, and then you find out what I know, are you curious about what this country and other participants should do about it?
I think that's the bigger question, right? What do we do about it? Is there something that can be done about it? And what is that something?
Take my visual where you got a toxic smoke bomb in the house and there people are trapped in there. I mean, so, I know it stresses your financials to have to care for people to whom you've put up on. I know it stresses your financials. Maybe you should go where the problem is. and fix that, but not the way you did it in the past.
Right.
So, like Argentina, in the 70s, Ford, who was president at the time, he overthrew a democratically elected president and opened the door for a dictator who was more friendly to the financial interests of the country.
So is that the real issue? Money?
It's always the money. Isn't it always the money?
It ends up being so, yes.
In Bolivia in the 70s, the U.S. supported a coup because the democratically elected president gave miners and other what they characterize as peasants a seat at the table. It was centered around minerals. And so these miners wanted better wages, better housing.
As they should have.
Right. For the minerals they were mining for this country. Mm-hmm. And so if they got that, that would raise the price of the minerals and affect the economy of the U.S. Can't have that. So the U.S. supported a coup to remove that guy who was giving miners who were pushing for unionhood. They got rid of him in favor of another dictator who would act in the best interest of this country.
That's interesting.
Ain't it? Mm-hmm. Brazil in the 60s. This is it's either Kennedy or Lyndon Johnson. Mm-hmm. Supported a coup against a democratically elected president in favor of a military dictatorship because it affected the money in the U.S. Dominican Republic. See, here's the thing about the Dominican Republic. Lazy people who don't know geography don't realize the Dominican Republic and Haiti are the same island. Mm-hmm. They're the same island. So while you're vacationing in the DR, you don't realize just down the road.
Just down the street, yep.
Now, Haiti has been in chaos since the 1800s when the Haitian Revolution occurred, mm-hmm. and they killed slavery in Haiti. Mm-hmm. And so ever since then, and in fact, you can see the stream of laws that occurred in this country to prevent that from happening here. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about the early 1800s, while you were in the height of slavery. While you were in the height of slavery, and someone, I forget the law, but they stopped allowing the transatlantic slave trade. So you couldn't bring any more Africans, you couldn't kidnap any more people and bring them here. Mm-hmm. So they had breeding camps, of course, in this country. So the DR, in 1961, the CIA supplied weapons to a right-wing dictatorship because the DR wasn't behaving properly for them. In Chile, Nixon, is either Nixon or, was it Lyndon Johnson was before Nixon? Mm-hmm. It was either Johnson or Nixon. Ordered an economic war in favor of a military coup. In Ecuador, Kennedy, in the early 60s, overthrew a president who would not cut ties with Cuba. Of course, we had the Russian Missile Crisis and all that stuff. But he was like tight with Cuba. And they didn't like that, so they overthrew him in favor of a dictator. Guatemala, peasants again. Peasants led a revolt over working and living conditions, over fruit, over the farming of fruit. Of course, if the fruit prices went up, that would impact the U.S. Can't have that. The U.S. participated in putting down the peasants. It goes on and on.
You know, you're educating me today because I thought we were about democracy. For other countries. I thought that was the purpose of us assisting other countries so that they could have democracies.
The more you look at it, the more it looks like it's about their money.
That's a shame.
Do you know this country still, although it's drastically reduced, this country still trades with Russia? Now, admittedly, it's drastically reduced. But you have trading relations with Russia, for whom you're trashing and dragging every day. Why? Because of the money.
Yeah.
So you know, listen. Then you can go all around the world and figure out all this consternation going on. You can look in the Middle East and check the history on the artificial borders that the U.S. and the British participated in drawing. I mean, Iraq, if I'm recalling correctly, I think it was 2 different countries, and maybe 3 different countries, who they just mashed together. Y'all look alike, so y'all live, y'all should just live together.
Right.
So it creates internal strife.
Sure.
Because you ain't me and we ain't you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then you throw your hands up and you say, well, they're animals. They're fighting.
Right.
How come they can't do things?
Mm-hmm.
Because of you.
It's true. Very interesting.
Almost half of the world's copper reserves, more than a third of the lithium reserves, and a significant amount of deposits of nickel, cobalt, and other critical minerals are in South America. So basically, the electric car revolution is driven by South America and Africa. Africa is probably larger.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, not that the U.S. needs chaos in order to keep its money, but it needs friendly people in order to keep its money. Make sure you protect my money, man. If you can't, I'm gonna get somebody else to.
Somebody else, yeah.
It's gangster.
It
It's
really
just
is.
gangster.
And what are we doing with all that money? I mean, why do we have poor people? Why do we have hungry people? Why do we have homeless people? Where's all this money going?
Well, so you would think that since you broke it, man, I think that was Colin Powell's. Why do they call that boy Colin anyway? It was Colin. If you break it, you own it, right?
You break it, yeah.
So basically, this country is going around breaking things. Mm-hmm. And instead of fixing what you broke, you create rules so that the consternation you create doesn't affect you. Mm-hmm. So that's what all this stuff at the border, the border, as it were, is all about, which is maddening to me. And all these lazy-ass people, I mean, what are you talking about? What are you really talking about? Oh, my God. Y'all got me off on this thing, man.
Uh-oh, he's scratching his face, y'all.
So what are our demands, right? What are our demands?
What are our demands?
You would think, I mean, you watched Biden do the State of the Union, and all they do is talk about security at the border, right? That's the equivalent of, in my analogy, of security of the door. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right? You've thrown the smoke bomb in there, mm-hmm. but you're only concerned about making sure that they don't get out. But you want to make sure that the money keep coming out the chimney.
Yep.
Make sure the money come out the chimney now. Mm-hmm. If it don't, we're going to go back in there and throw another smoke bomb.
Yeah.
And then close the door again. So, listen, I don't want these people, it's not that I don't want these people coming here. I don't want them risking their lives trying to get here. I don't want them risking their lives in their own country. Go do something about that.
Well, don't you think if they thought that they could, they would? I don't think that people take those journeys. I don't think that they take that decision lightly.
The migrants?
Uh-huh. I think it just has to be so bad that they're going to do anything to get out of there, and they come here.
Well, then stop the bad.
I agree with that, but I don't know. It has to be a collective agreement amongst all of those people to make that change, and they're not doing so. Otherwise, they wouldn't be coming here.
I don't think that's the case, though. I don't think it's the case that they don't want to change. It's our very human nature. Like, for instance, if I told you to bite a big chunk out of your hand, you couldn't do it.
Right. But that's not what I said. I said that they collectively.
Who's they, by the way?
The migrants, whomever, wherever they are.
Right.
They're not collectively. I don't know if this is true or not. It's my assumption. Collectively trying to affect change together. Instead, they're running. And I'm saying that as a group, as we know, they can change some things, but they're not.
Yeah, but can they, though, in a dictatorship?
I don't know. You know, that's a life that I don't know anything about.
I gotta believe, and this is where my empathy comes in. I gotta believe that if I decided that I needed to flee this country under similar dangerous circumstances, it had to be pretty bad.
Right.
And
That's
I didn't
what I'm
have
saying.
any choice.
Right. I think that's the situation for them.
I mean, look at over in Russia where the opposition leader is killed, basically, by Putin.
Yeah. Well, and all the other people, he's throwing out windows and all that other stuff.
Yeah, and poisoning and all kind of stuff.
Yeah. It's crazy.
But this country has the resources, but not the will to go into these countries and say, listen, y'all got to stop whatever you're doing so that they stop coming here. So they stop taking this dangerous journey. You have to stop that. Now, what can we do to help you stop that? And listen, you can't put on them. You can't abuse them. You can't jail them.
Right.
You have to do something different so that it's attractive for them. It's as attractive for them to stay here as it would be for them to come here, come to us.
I agree.
And what can we do to help you do that? That would be my way of thinking.
And what do you think we're doing instead? And we're just helping
we're just
to
guarding
create
the door so they can't get out.
So they can't get out. And that's pretty much it. So they have to fend for themselves, and we're not doing anything. We're just going to watch it all burn.
We're going to not only watch it burn, we're going to keep extracting money.
Okay.
And I just think it's maddening. And I think that every time you hear a politician talk exclusively about border security, as it were, one, you ain't talking about everybody.
Right.
You're talking about brown people.
Right.
But two, why don't you talk about why you need to have border security? Well, what did you do to cause that?
Oh, well, they are talking about what you should do, but they're not talking about, they're talking about, those people are dangerous, they're murderers, which is not true.
Not at all.
But it's the fear.
No more dangerous than anybody here.
Right.
Already.
Right. Exactly right. It's all a lie.
Well, a lot of that stuff comes out of the Republican Party because they like to keep people afraid of everything.
You say a lot? I would say overwhelmingly.
Yeah. You don't generally find progressives who find them to be dangerous. They're no more dangerous statistically than anybody here. I dare, maybe even less dangerous.
I would agree with that too. Because they just want to get along so that they can live. They don't want to hurt anybody.
They're trying to get somewhere safe.
Yep.
Like we all would do.
Right.
It's maddening to me.
Me too. But let's dance.
You don't know nothing about this, girl.
Yes, I do. Hey, look, I'm older than
Actually,
you.
it's KC, like Kansas City, right?
I know.
Okay? Yeah. All right, y'all. The number is 773-763-9278. Stay tuned for more of the Family Meeting.
This is Abdel Shakur, Mr. Know-It-All. Keep listening to the Family Meeting.
You have a pain that won't cease, a health issue that's not getting better. It may be time you visited Health on Earth Wellness Centers. With over 20 years experience, 4 Chicagoland locations, and patients that range from 2 months old to 93, Health on Earth Wellness Centers are fully prepared to meet all your chiropractic needs. We have state-of-the-art facilities in Crestwood, Tinley Park, the South Loop, and Naperville. Don't let being healthy be your last resort. Make it your first choice. Make an appointment today at healthonearth.org. That's healthonearth.org.
Itsashort.com. The website is itsashort.com, spelled ITSASHORT.com. We are the best designation on the internet for award-winning short film, video, and web series. Artists are from all over the world. They are award-winning from various festivals, but you can find us at info@itsashort.com, customer care at itsashort.com, and we'll get back to you straight away.
A 2016 study estimates that 13.1 million Americans were victims of identity theft that year. Fight back against identity theft by signing up for Identity Guard. Identity Guard monitors your credit and identity information with alerts that can help you respond quickly if certain changes indicating fraudulent activity are detected, as well as help protect your computer from viruses, keylogging, and other serious threats. Plus, with Identity Guard's dynamic credit management resources and tools, You will have helpful information as you make better financial and credit decisions. Identity Guard includes $1 million identity theft insurance and lost wallet protection, and more if you ever do become a victim. Protect your ID by visiting lookaftermyid.com. That's lookaftermyid.com to securely sign up for Identity Guard today.
Polaris is introducing a way for you to get empowering financial advice. Save and plan.
Hey, Family Meeting cousins. As you know, we've created a Patreon Family Meeting subscription and membership page to include you great listeners in our effort and give you a chance to very economically promote your business, organization, or local event. You can contribute as little as $5 per month to get your message out and support the Family Meeting as a viable voice. We know you appreciate our permanent interest dialogue, get up and dance playlist, and our great guests who stop by. So become a cousin and go to our website, tfmradioshow.com, and click the link.
Satin and silk, my white cotton feels so good. Search high and low for a place where I can lay my burdens down. Ain't nothing in the whole wide world like the peace that I have found. In the little things and the joy they bring.
Good afternoon, Chicago. My name is Timothy Hicks, Marine Corps vet. Welcome back to the Family Meeting.
773-763-9278. That is 773-763-9278. So, you know, I gave this example several weeks ago, right? You're a school teacher, and two kids are fighting. What does the teacher do to break up the fight?
Pulls them apart.
And then asks, what happened?
What are you fighting about? Yes.
What happened here? Mm-hmm. Right? And so that's an example of identifying that there's a problem and attempting to find out what the problem is. And so right now, this country is defining people fleeing their country. It's not defining people fleeing their country as the problem. They're defining the problem as they fled here. Mm-hmm. You could just as easily solve. Now, take out the word easy. It's going to cost you some money and resources.
Sure.
To fix the problem.
Mm-hmm.
But if you really wanted to fix the problem, if you were humanitarian in nature and wanted to fix the problem, you would go where they came from and say, why these people running from you?
Uh-huh.
What y'all doing down here?
Yep.
What's the problem? When y'all going to fix this? Mm-hmm. How can we help you fix this? That ain't what we're doing. That ain't what nobody's asking about.
Doesn't that seem so logical?
It makes too much damn sense.
Yeah. Let's just have a conversation.
And it's so incredibly racist because you're only talking about those people.
Yep.
And you know it too. You can lie to yourself and say you're not, but I dare you. I dare you to roll up on a Polish person here in Chicago. They say that there are as many Polish people here in Chicago as there are in Warsaw.
Well, probably it's the biggest population in Chicago, ethnic population.
All of them can't be here legally. They just came in through airplanes. Or you got students who've come here and have overstayed their visa. You ain't rolling up on them saying you should get out.
I was quiet because, I know quite a few Polish people, and you're right.
Why are you quiet? Why are you being quiet?
Because I didn't want to throw them under the bus. But You're right. It's half and half, actually.
Yeah. So, but you ain't talking about them.
No.
They can stay.
Yes.
It's these brown people are the problem.
Mm-hmm.
That's what makes it racist.
For sure.
And so to the question that I asked last week of our caller, okay, so let's say that the brown people are a problem. How are you affected by that? So if you're talking about taking your jobs, you're more inclined to lose your job to a Canadian than you are an immigrant from a country south of us.
Good point.
If you're in the construction trades, you're more likely to use your job to a European.
Yep.
Who's here illegally.
Yeah.
who don't speak the language. A good paying union job.
Yep.
You're more inclined to lose your job to them than those people coming from south of the border. But you're afraid of losing your job to them. You want to take your dumb ass down there and pick apples? That's what you want to do? Pick apples? It's asinine. It's just asinine.
Yeah.
And I hate it. It's like fingers on a chalkboard whenever I hear somebody say the border. We got more than one border. So it's the borders.
Right. Well, they only care about one.
And in every instance for the last, I bet you the last 5 years, if not more, whenever somebody says to me, when everybody uses that phrase, the border, I say, do you mean the Canadian border?
Good for you.
Right. And they always say, well, no. Okay, well.
It wasn't even a consideration.
Wasn't even a consideration. They're coming here taking your jobs. They're coming here and buying banks and insurance companies. They're buying your companies up. They're not just taking your jobs.
Yep.
What's the name of that company? Sun Life of Canada bought a bunch of companies. There's a Swedish company. I think back then it was called ING. They bought up a whole bunch of companies in Iowa. So now the Swedish are buying up your companies. Who's taking your jobs for real? Who's taking the good-paying corporate jobs?
Good question.
But you worried about picking some damn apples.
Yeah, that you wouldn't pick anyway.
Right. You ain't gonna do that. So, listen, man, we got to call it like we see it, man. And listen, many of you guys know me.
For a long time.
Hopefully. I'm willing to be corrected. I'm willing to be wrong. But I don't see where I am in this instance. Correct me. Correct me if I'm wrong. But it's an asinine effort. This whole thing we're going through here about the border stuff is stupid.
It's not real.
No, we're not trying to fix something. You can't put up no damn wall and solve the problem. They'll just... You're not solving the problem that you created. There were... I found a list of 81 instances where this country has gone around the world and participated in a coup.
81?
81 instances.
Beginning, what's the first one?
Beginning in the 1800s,
Okay.
early 1800s, late 1700s. Well, this country's gone around the world and created chaos. When we were little, there was always some dude on the block that would come around and whatever we were playing, we would stop. Because he played too much. Every time he come around, somebody get hurt.
Right.
Nah, we ain't playing no more because Jerome here. He play too much. Somebody gonna get hurt. Every time this country shows up,
somebody gonna get hurt.
Yeah. Or have their stuff stolen. He gonna empty your pockets. Right now, what's going on in the Congo? The very same thing. In case you didn't know, you think Gaza's bad? Take a look at what's going on in Congo, and they ain't talking about that
at all.
How come? Let's say that you were a country, Michelle, and this country came over and dropped 2 atomic bombs on you. So how long would it take you to say, "All right, we good"?
I don't know that I'd ever be able to.
We're friends now.
I don't think I'd ever be able to.
But somehow
I'd still be sick, actually. I'd still be recovering. It takes centuries to get better after all that.
Right. But somehow right now the Japanese are like, yeah, we're good. We're buddies. We're partners.
Do we believe it?
You killed hundreds of thousands of people all at once. We're good now. We're good. Now come on over. Well, let's talk. Let's engage in trade and all manner of things.
Yeah. No.
I know foreign policy to me is just the mistake that Israel has allowed to happen is they've allowed cameras to document the genocide that they're committing. That's the mistake that they've made. And I use the word mistake kind of tongue-in-cheek.
I got it.
Because you didn't get those images from Iraq.
Right.
Or Afghanistan.
Right.
Although the same thing happened.
Right.
This country was killing children.
Right.
And innocent people on a regular basis. But they didn't let the pictures get out. But it still happened.
Yeah.
Don't tell me you drop a nuclear bomb on a city in Japan and you haven't killed any children.
It's not possible.
Not even possible.
Mm-mm.
You can't even tell me how many. Yeah, I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about that. The only country on earth that's done that to people. So the answer is do better, right? The answer is put pressure on Biden. Say, you need to do this differently, man.
Don't you think he's coming around?
No, because he's giving money and weapons to Israel to commit genocide and giving the people who have the genocide put upon them food. And we're going to feed you before you get killed. So put aside the irony or the stupidity of it. Think about the waste of money. Let me be coarse for a second.
I know what you're going to, yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Why feed people that are going to die anyway?
Yeah.
Why do that?
Make you feel better.
Make you feel better, right. Make you feel better. Yeah, and listen, I applaud the effort to build a dock in the ocean there. I can't remember the name of the ocean right there at Gaza. And getting food to those people. I applaud that.
Yeah.
But you got to stop them people from killing these people, too. And, okay, he can't do that. Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Yeah. You know the saying, politics make strange bedfellows. I think that's because, you may be on one side of the aisle and have to do something on the other side of the aisle, and you don't want to, but in order to get what you need, you got to work it. You got to make it work. I think that's what all of this is. Just it's all circumstantial, and it's all crazy.
See, I agree with you, except the insidious part is not the across the aisle discussions.
Right.
It's the money underlying the underlying motivation for across the aisle.
Gotcha.
Right back to money again.
Mm-hmm.
It's a damn shame, man. It's just a damn shame. And, I'm curious what we do. Get out and vote. Yeah, okay, we've done that.
Well, don't minimize it, though, because it's still important.
Okay, it's important. It's important to express yourself, too.
And that's part of an expression, voting.
It is. Or not voting is an expression.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't want to discourage people from voting. That's important.
If people are discouraged from voting, it wouldn't be because of me.
That's true.
It would be because of what they're doing.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So, what do you do? That's the question on the floor, I guess. What do you do?
And I think it's a good question. And let's see if there's something that we can actually do.
I don't know. See, here's the thing that's going to be frustrating now. Y'all going to give me these pat answers. You get out and vote. You should march. No, man. These people react to money, man.
Okay, then what are we spending it on and who are we giving it to?
See, I wish we could engage in like a boycott. Like everybody in the country. Nobody goes to Walmart.
I would love that. Because I'm one of those people. I will boycott, write letters. I'm that person.
And the letters thing's not too much because the money thing is what makes it move.
Yes, but all of that matters.
Because the Montgomery bus boycott is the best example of that.
Mm-hmm.
When the bus company was suffering financially, okay, you Negroes can ride on the bus.
Yes.
Come on, come on back.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, listen, it's your turn, and that number is 773-763-9278. Let me know what you think we should do. Stay tuned for more of the Family Meeting.
It's been a long time. We haven't kissed each other. No one can interrupt us.
This is Rodney Harrington. Keep listening to the Family Meeting.
Watch you, baby. Everything that you show. Shake your body parts. Let me be the dog. Stay low to the ground. I got you now.
Is your child prepared for the school year? Getting started early means a better chance of getting ahead. Masters Plus Tutoring in Homewood is the program that works. No matter what your child needs to prepare for the coming academic year, better study habits, organizational skills, or time management, Masters Plus can help. In fact, they tutor students in all subjects from kindergarten through college. Perhaps ACT, SAT, or Catholic high school prep are in order. Just visit mptutors.com and request a consultation. All sessions are taught by certified instructors in a private one-to-one setting to ensure each student receives individualized instruction. Whether your child is at a basic level or reaching for advanced placement, Masters Plus Tutoring can help. Call 708-798-8400 or visit them on the web at mptutors.com. Mention WCPT and you'll receive a $25 tuition credit with a purchase of 4 hours or more. That's mptutors.com.
This is Michelle Duster, professor, public historian, and author of Ida B. the Queen, The Extraordinary Life and Legacy of Ida B. Wells. Here is the Family Meeting News.
This is Michelle Peltier, and here's more of what we are following on the Family Meeting. Former President Barack Obama on Thursday stood before a massive 2-story display at McCormick Place that projected images of some of the more memorable moments of his time in office. The prototype display is only half of what will eventually be an 88-foot media installation inside the Obama Presidential Center in Jackson Park. The former president got a first-hand look at how the technology behind the media display will work. When completed, the display will span the first 4 floors of the museum. Images from 7 projectors will tell a story of the power of words, which is a theme for the museum, reflecting Obama's belief in the power of storytelling. One voice can change a room. An Obama quote from his first presidential campaign was projected in giant letters on the screen. It is the largest of 50 video installations planned for the Obama Presidential Center. You're going to be happy about this one, Eric. Drivers taking the Kennedy Expressway should expect significant delays as reversible express lanes are set to close Monday night through the fall for construction.
Where?
It just says the construction is part of the second phase of a 3-year, $150 million project to rehab the I-90, I-94 Kennedy Expressway from the I-94 Edens Expressway junction to Ohio Street.
That's going to be bad for you.
For me?
You got a better thing coming.
Oh, man, I'm going to have to leave an hour early?
Daily.
This year's work focused on the express lanes is starting earlier than expected due to warmer temperatures. Additionally, temporary overnight ramp and lane closures will occur for several days next week. The ramps and lanes are expected to reopen by 5 a.m. each morning. Buddy Guy is bringing his Damn Right Farewell tour to the Chicago Blues Festival, where he is scheduled to close out the free 4-day event this June, officials announced Wednesday. The legendary 87-year-old guitarist and singer has influenced generations of musicians from Jimi Hendrix to Have you seen him? How can you be from Chicago? Okay. He's a great entertainer. He's influenced musicians from Jimi Hendrix to Gary Clark. Accolades include the National Medal of Arts, Kennedy Center's honors, and induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Please visit our webpage, tfmradioshow.com. You can subscribe and follow us on everything: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Threads, TikTok, LinkedIn, YouTube. You also subscribe and follow our YouTube channel to view us live and receive reminders when we are back on the air. I am Michelle Peltier. We'll be right back.
This is Chicago's Progressive Talk, 820 AM, WCPT Willow Springs, and online at WCPT820.com, where facts matter.
Polaris is introducing a way for you to get empowering financial advice. Save and Plan. If you are like a lot of people, you'd like to work with a financial planner, but don't know if you earn or have enough to invest. Save and Plan will allow us to work with nearly anyone from young professionals to retirees looking to travel the world. Save and Plan is simple. Just sign up to save on a systematic monthly basis directly from your account and gain access to a planner and our planning services. Once you sign up, Polaris gives you a customized financial plan, a real person to speak with, and information to help you make good financial decisions. Your dedicated planner is just an email or phone call away. Save and Plan offers empowering advice for everyone. Visit us at polarisadvice.com. Call us today at 312-951-2606 or email us at polarisadvice.com. That's 312-951-2606 or email us at polarisadvice.com. Save and Plan, empowering advice for everyone. Securities, insurance, and advisory services offered through FSC Securities Corporation. Member FINRA SIPC. Insurance services offered through Polaris Insurance Agency, Inc., which is not affiliated with FSC Securities Corporation.
This is Susan Manuel, www.ablconsulting.net. Welcome back to the family meeting.
That's some hard-hitting funk right there, boy.
Nice.
You ain't ready for that kind of funk.
I was today.
That's some heavy-duty funk. Tell me you didn't get up for that one.
I almost did.
Right, get up quick. You get a certain age, getting up ain't that easy. Right. You gotta plan to get up.
Push and all that stuff.
Yeah, you gotta make a plan.
You do.
Look here, what's what I'm gonna do? If my jumping jam come on, but it gotta be the right kind of jumping jam.
Yes.
I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna grab this thing and pull myself up. You don't know about that. 773-763-9278. Yeah, I can dig some body heat, man. I'm gonna do that again for y'all next week.
Thank you.
Yeah, not body heat. I got another one that
I'm sure.
Right now. Yeah, I do. So what are we talking about? Yeah.
Changing the world, one conversation at a time.
I saw a comedian this week. He was talking about Boeing and their problems.
Mm.
It's kind of obvious. I think it's been said before, but why would you have an airplane company named Boeing? Boeing? Really? Not the best choice. It's like, like you got a
right, boing, boing, boing.
Right. Like things are popping off. It's like having a candle company named PU. Stinky. Let me see what's on Dave's mind here in Hoffman Estates. Hey, Dave, talk to me, man.
Hi, Dave.
Okay, Michelle. You got so much stuff I could touch off of, but like when you mentioned about the Israel, whatever, and that videoing stuff, and we did, like Afghanistan and Iraq and that. Well, if you recall, we stopped doing that because of Vietnam. That time because I turned the public against the war, and that it changed the whole views.
Well, I think Vietnam was one of the first wars where you actually got like footage of the chaos.
They watched it, and that's when it turned the tide on a lot of the public. The civilians they didn't they see that what a lie it was or whatever and stuff like that. But
the U.S. hasn't allowed that a lot since.
Yeah, like Desert Storm they did, because remember they put the reporters in certain areas and that, and it had to get cleared by the military first before they bring them in.
Where was this?
So, it was when Desert Storm.
Oh.
That first, they had the CNN reporters and all the other reporters in a pool. And then when the army or whoever declared it was okay, then they took them into either sanitized areas or whatnot. But they weren't there right when the shells were flying and stuff like that.
When children were being killed, right?
Right, and yeah, they didn't film that. But remember, they didn't even allow them to take pictures of the flag-draped coffins on planes.
Yeah.
So
that is a tactic. That's a tactic apparently that the colonial powers use, that they try to screen out what you can see so that they can get away with engaging in, like Israel's doing, genocide.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, just like today by about a half a mile or so from my house they're protesting the Palestinian. They got the Palestinian flags, a bunch of them, right next to the two major roads there, by Higgins and the Gulf.
On the side of the road. Here's the funny part about that. I don't know that the Palestinians are innocent, but they've managed to make them into martyrs.
Yeah, well, that, and then they've also just did a good job of recruiting more for Hamas, too, by slaughter, killing people. It's not a very good visual when you see the babies and stuff like that, or the young people. I've tried to be kind of neutral on it because it's, on some parts it's like with the Hamas, the Palestinians, why ain't they pointed out, where these guys are? It's almost like sometimes with the people are afraid to mention about the gang members or something because of retaliation, and they voted these Hamas in, how many years now? And that, but it's a no-win either way. That these poor people are getting slaughtered though, and it's kind of overkill. Where they're
it's way beyond. It's way beyond now.
Yeah, kind of like World War II or something. When the Nazis had, if they killed one Nazi, they go like in the Jewish, the Polish Jews ghetto. They killed one Nazi soldier. They go in and kill like 10, to each one that got killed.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. But my God, what is it? Up 32,000 people. It's not right. And that.
Nothing about it. Nothing about it's right. Dave, thanks, man.
And when you, all right.
Take care.
Okay, so talk to you next.
Okay,
Bye,
man.
Dave.
Take care. Yeah, that's the thing. So he threw one of those words out there: gangs, militias, terrorist.
Yeah,
they throw that around a lot. So it's the same exercise. If I say terrorist or gang, who do you see?
Brown people.
So see, y'all see, it's a mind game. The words they've chosen to use, like when they refer to Hamas on the news now, they're very careful to refer to Hamas as the terrorist group. And so we talked about this a few weeks ago, right? I'm able to differentiate between a terrorist group and someone who commits terrorism. Okay, what's the difference, E? Well, arguably my father was a terrorist.
Because
I was in constant fear of him.
So he was your own personal terrorist.
Own personal terrorist, right? He was, to my way of thinking, a terrorist. Okay, I'm being a little facetious here.
Sure.
But how are you defining a terrorist, right? So if I understand what a terrorist is, then that would make Israel a terrorist state. Or engaging in terrorism. That would make the U.S. a terrorist state. I think there's plenty of argument to make that the U.S. is a terrorist state that has committed terrorism around the world. Dropping nuclear bombs on a city, that's terrorism. Tell me it's not. It sounds like, on a larger scale, the same thing that Hamas did. But they're terrorists and the U.S. isn't? How are we defining terrorists? What are the rules? Let's see what's on Ron's mind. Ron's calling from Michigan, the terrorist state. Ron, what's up, man?
Hi, Ron.
Hi, Michelle and Eric. The United States, when my father served 3 years in the Pacific fighting the Japanese. If we did not drop the atomic bomb, he would not have survived. He would have been in the front line, okay? If the Japanese had the atomic bomb, they would have dropped it on us. If the Nazis had it, they would have dropped dropped it on England and the United States. We had it first. We killed them and stopped the war. They started the war. Maybe we started the war. Who cares? We won it. I'm here because of that. You were talking about the Dominican Republic. The United States almost annexed the Dominican Republic after the Civil War. President Grant wanted to annex it because after the Civil War, Reconstruction was going so badly. The terrorist Ku Klux Klans were slaughtering so many black people and white people who came in there to help them before he sent the Union Army to stop the Ku Klux Klan. But we were going to annex the Dominican Republic to probably send black people over for their own safety, okay? Just a little history. And my wife saw that when the United States invaded the Dominican Republic, and it was a very... American soldiers were being slaughtered because it was street-to-street fighting, and it was all high fences, and the American death toll was very high, and it was hidden from the truth of the American people.
Okay.
But
that's interesting. I hadn't heard about the Dominican Republic being a destination. I knew about Liberia, but I didn't know about the DR. I would have liked growing up in the DR, by the way. I would have liked that.
The book is Grant and the War Against the Ku Klux Klan. It's a really good book. It's because Reconstruction was worse than slavery for black people because there was no incentive to, in slavery you didn't want to slaughter and whip black people to death, but in Reconstruction there was you had to get the message across, and there was no limit to the terror and the murder that the Ku Klux Klan perpetrated on. But anyway, that's a whole different story. And
let me go back to something you said earlier, though, Ron. And I can appreciate the conclusion that you've come to. I don't disagree with it at all, as a matter of fact, that dropping the atomic bombs on Japan stopped further murder. So it was, in fact, murdering people to stop murder. I think you'd agree with that, right?
Absolutely correct. Okay. Absolutely correct.
Right. So then, to follow that logic, the attack by Hamas on Israel, a colonial state that has been putting upon, killing, and jailing Palestinians on a regular basis for 50 years, does that make that justified too?
I'll go even further with that, Eric. I think Israel knew that they were going to launch the attack, and they let it go down to inflame and unify the Israeli people into a rage that just is like non-stoppable. Yeah, so I'll go even further than that. I'll say the Israeli government had intelligence that, because it kind of blew Hamas's mind too, that they got hostages. They didn't figure on getting hostage, I don't think. It was a...
You suspect that, right? You don't know that. You just suspect that, right?
No, I have no proof of that whatsoever.
Okay, we'll make sure
none
we're clear.
Whatsoever.
Okay.
But can I bring up some of the? There's a guy running for governor in North Carolina. He's a black man, and he is.
Man.
Okay,
we're not allowed to speak about him.
Oh God! But the insidious brilliance of the Ku Klux Klan Republic scum, they're putting up this anti-Semitic black guy against a Jewish candidate. It is the perfect workings of the modern day Ku Klux Klan gone modern with politics. It's really unbelievable.
They're going to keep trying until they get it right. They tried with Herschel. Now we're doing this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they wallow in ignorance.
Some other people on.
They just bathe in ignorance, man. It's crazy to watch.
They want it that way.
Crazy. Ron, thank you, man. Be safe up there in Michigan.
Thanks, Ron.
You're welcome, Michelle and Eric.
Okay, take care.
Bye.
That was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get old. You know what? I'm gonna hold off to after the break because I see Earl sitting there. Earl talk a lot, man. Earl can't shut up, man. So. I'm gonna wait till after the break. Or you next, man. I'm gonna get you next, man. All right, just so you know. See, I have a hard time reading books like that. Grant and the War Against the KKK.
I might get it, though.
I don't know. You know, so if you haven't, have you read Caste yet? Isabel Wilkerson's book?
No. It's on my list at home.
How about Warmth of Other Suns?
No.
Let me encourage
Caste
you.
is on my list. I'm going to write it down again.
Read those both. In fact,
The Warmth of Other Suns, too?
Yeah. In fact, I would suggest to you, in both instances, get the audiobook. Because it is a theatrical experience.
Both of them, or just
Both
the
of
Warmth?
them.
Okay.
Both of them are. And especially in Warmth of Other Suns, because the lady who reads Warmth of Other Suns, she actually contorts her voice.
Really?
For the characters. It's like a one-man show. It's crazy.
Oh, wow. I would love that.
It's a very immersive experience. But it's going to piss you off.
Most things do.
If I'm going to read a book to be pissed off, I'm going to read that side. I'm not going to read this side. You know, I might get it. I might. I have a heart. I need to consume. I need to consume things with people who've had my vision. Not that I'm single-minded or anything, or I only talk to people that like me, but you are not genuine if you don't understand that because I wear a brown costume every day, the world looks different to me than it does you. And I'm not so curious about how it looks from your eyes.
That's where we differ. I'm curious about all of it. Much to the chagrin of people who care about me.
So much of it, though, is an effort to suppress or rewrite history.
That's why curiosity about everything is good.
But it lacks, usually for me, it lacks too much context. And I get stuck. When I get books like that, too often, I'm not saying all the time, when I get books like that, too often I'm reading, I'm like, well, what about, like I'm watching like the History Channel last month. I told you about this, right? So if you watch the History Channel and they talk about all these people who made America, you would think that black people were never on Earth.
Weren't here.
We didn't create nothing. They had one series about automakers. There was a black automaker who went bankrupt in the Great Depression.
Yeah.
He was on his way.
Yeah.
He was on the same track all of y'all were, except y'all didn't provide resources, so he went bankrupt and y'all didn't.
Yeah.
But no, he didn't do anything. Like, well, what about old boy? Y'all just forgot about old boy? Oh, I don't get it, man.
That's why we just have to keep having these conversations. I've learned more about us as a people in the last 10 years of my life than I ever did before because nobody was talking about anything.
Yeah. I think that's one of the advantages of social media and the internet.
Yes, it's changed the world
available.
for the best and for the worst.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Earl's next, y'all. 773-763-9278. Stay tuned for more of the Family Meeting.
They say I'm crazy. I really don't care. That's my prerogative. They say I'm nasty, but I don't give a damn.
Hello, I'm Michael Hinton, assistant principal from Paul Revere. Go Raiders. Keep listening to the Family Meeting.
Why am I so real? But they don't understand me.
Calling all valued members of the American Veterinary Medical Association, or AVMA. Your future retirement goals can be achieved. Introducing the AVMA Retirement Plan, tailored to meet the distinct needs of veterinarians with streamlined administration and reduced burdens. Vets enjoy unrivaled benefits that include service provider oversight, knowledgeable expert investment guidance, and delegated fiduciary services. Veterinarians who use this plan can say goodbye to annual retirement plan audits and annual retirement plan tax reporting. Veterinarians, you can enjoy retirement your way with customizable plans to suit your practice's unique structure. From eligibility to vesting schedules and more, elevate your retirement journey with AVMA's specialized plan. Learn more by sending an email to polaris@polarisadvice.com. Secure your veterinary legacy starting today. Email us at polaris@polarisadvice.com. Securities offered through LineStreet Financial, LLC, member FINRA and SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Polaris Wealth Management, LLC. Polaris Wealth Management and LineStreet are not affiliated.
Hey Chicago, are you always on the go? Take the new Shy 311 app with you to find the information that you need, submit non-emergency city service requests, and much more. Download the new Shy 311 app, built with Chicagoans for Chicagoans. That's Shy 311 on the App Store or Google Play, or check it out online at 311.chicago.gov. Stay informed with Shy 311. It's your gateway to Chicago services.
Do you own a business in Illinois? Are you aware of the new retirement plan requirement that could impact your business? Listen up, this is crucial information you don't want to miss. If you're a business with at least 5 employees and have been operating for 2 years or more, Illinois law now mandates that you provide a retirement plan. But don't worry, we've got you covered. Polaris Wealth Management can be your professional partner in navigating this new landscape. We specialize in helping businesses just like yours establish affordable retirement plans that meet your needs and keep you compliant. You may avoid penalties as high as $500 per employee by acting now. Our team of seasoned professionals will guide you through the process step by step, making it easy for you to set up a 401k, a simple IRA, or another qualified retirement plan. Visit our website at polarisadvice.com for more information, or shoot us an email at polarisadvice.com. We're here to help you provide your employees with the retirement benefits they deserve while safeguarding your business from potential fines. Don't let these changes catch you off guard. Contact Polaris Wealth Management today, and let's work together to build a better retirement future for your employees and your business. Visit polarisadvice.com or email us at polaris@polarisadvice.com. Securities offered through Lion Street Financial LLC, member FINRA and SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Polaris Wealth Management LLC. Polaris Wealth Management and Lion Street are not affiliated.
Tanisha K. Brooks, teacher for the Great Ann Arbor Public Schools, where Wolverines rule, and welcome back to the family meeting.
773-763-9278. 773-763-9278. I think it's fair to say that we're talking about the, I almost said the border crisis.
Don't do it.
It's probably more accurately described as an immigration backlog. The way I see it now, if you're talking about dealing with the problem of immigrants coming here, it is not a lot different. In principle, I'm trying to be careful here because I'm trying to not minimize the significance. Not much different in principle than the same problem you see at the grocery store when the lines get long. And I hesitate to say, simply put, you need more people to process the people who are coming here. If you're just going to focus on that, you need more judges, you need more law enforcement, because we know how law enforcement is.
Right.
But you need more people to process the people.
That's pretty logical, right?
I mean, so not somebody's going to criticize me. It's not like a grocery store. These are human beings. They ain't chickens. I know they're not chickens. Just saying. You got a long line of people. You need more checkout counters to get them through.
Well, now people are having to check themselves out, so I don't know if we should use grocery stores.
Yeah, now they're walking out with the eggs. They're just walking out with the eggs without paying. Let's see what's on Earl's mind. Hey, Earl, what's up, man?
Hi, Earl.
I'm doing fine since I talk a lot.
Oh, chatty Earl.
Thanks for hanging on.
I'm telling you, boy, I just don't know what I would do with that young man, Eric. I just don't know. But
love me.
I think what I would say is I agree with you and I disagree with you. Now, what I'm saying is everything comes down to money, and it's real easy to say that everything boils down to money. But in order to understand how we get to making of money, we have to understand how the system works. And we have to understand our history, where white folks didn't want to share the wealth. They didn't view us as an equal entity. Matter of fact, when I was getting ready to go back to the Constitution where we were considered 3/5, We still know they don't, but But that's the legacy that we've had to participate in. And it also deals with the brown-skinned Latinos, too. I'm not talking about the ones that consider themselves white, who are the lighter-skinned ones, who have an easier road to hoe than necessarily the darker-skinned Latinos. But where I think we diverge a little bit is that in order to oppress people, you have to vilify and denigrate them and make people fear them. And in order for you to make money and be able to treat them like chattel, you have to make them appear to be less human. And because of the worship of the almighty dollar and how much more money they could be making if they didn't have to share the wealth with the rest of the population, they have come up with this plan of divide and conquer. And they keep us at each other's throats, where the Latinos and the blacks are at each other's throats. Then you get the white folks involved because they don't want the white folks to like the black folks or to empathize with the brown-skinned Latinos. And it's about money, power, and we can see it playing out in all its infamy in this next coming election with Trump and his lawlessness, his bigotry, and his greed, that he has somehow made white people feel that their grievances are the result of others, black folks, brown folks, maybe Orientals, depending on what century you're in or
do we
what
say
part of the world
Orientals?
you're in.
Isn't that like, you're not supposed to say Orientals no more,
We
man?
use Asian.
Okay, Asian.
Boy, man, tell you what, I told you, man, this dude, man.
Sometimes I miss the memos,
You
all
need
right?
to apologize to those people, man.
The way I apologize now. Well, it's not the first time I've misspoke, believe me.
Okay. I agree.
But just to simply, dilute it down to just money, you negate the necessity of all of the other stuff that comes before that will allow white people to denigrate black folks, to denigrate Latinos, and denigrate Asians, no matter what stripes they are, whether they're Near Eastern or Far East Asians.
Wait a minute, man. Wait a minute.
You have to have that weapon, boy.
I disagree with you almost 100%. Only because, and I'm being serious. I'm being serious here. Because it is not as simple as one group hating another group. In the case of slavery, for instance, we may want to characterize that as being a racist thing. It was never about race. It was about money. It was about them being able to get. It was about them being able to have free labor to make money.
Yes, but in order to do that, you had to convince the population that we were less than human.
Right, but it was still about money.
That's why racism come in there.
It was still about money.
That's what I said it. But the end goal was about money, but in order to get to the end goal, you had to go through this racist diatribe.
I don't even think they believed that black folks were inferior. That was their ploy so that they could justify enslaving people and get money.
No. I'm gonna tell you. That's why I call you a young blood, because I'm older than you, and I grew up in the South. And I'm gonna tell you, those white folks definitely did think we were inferior, we were less than, If they lynched us, it was what we deserved. If they kicked us off the bus, that was what we deserved. If we didn't get an education, that's what we deserved. If they were paying top dollar on corn, we would get 25 cents or 50 cents because that's all we were worth. No, I'm not going to let you say that they didn't think we were inferior.
Well, no. I want to clarify. Let me clarify. Let me clarify. Let me clarify. You're right. Those people, they believed, but they were taught that by people who wanted money. I think the people who taught them that didn't believe that we were inferior. They needed them to believe they were inferior so that they would assist in getting the money.
If you tell a lie often enough, they start to believe it, and it's handed down from generation to generation. No, they actually believed that we were inferior, just like they didn't have any problems with the Native Americans. Those Native Americans, I had one instructor in college who was white that said Native Americans were somehow less than because they hadn't invented the wheel.
Well, if they really believe, if people like Thomas Jefferson actually believed we were animals, that means that he was sleeping with animals.
That's right.
The power of the mind.
Wait a minute. How many stories did you hear about white folks being on a farm having sex with their animals?
With their animals, yep.
Okay.
That ain't nothing new.
Okay.
That ain't nothing new.
Okay.
Yeah, brother.
I'm kind of on Earl's side on this one. I'm on his side.
They really believe that we were inferior, and they still believe that we're inferior.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you, I primarily worked in the white world who were basically Trump supporters, and they still thought we were inferior. No matter how hard a job I did or how well I did a job, I was still less than.
Listen, I don't disagree with you. I'm just saying we're talking about two different people.
No, I don't think we are. I know what I understand. Believe me, Eric, I understand the definition of what you're trying to say. No, I'm not agreeing with you there.
Well, I mean, so if you look back in history, we know that enslaving people was a thing that wasn't racial in nature. We know this. The history tells us this. Right. In fact, there were black people who participated in that practice of enslaving people. It was indentured,
and they sold us into slavery in Africa too. Yes.
Right. It was indentured.
I completely agree with that.
It was indentured servitude. It was a different kind of slavery. Someone decided to racialize it at some point to justify.
But let me take you to another part of the world. The other side of Africa, the eastern side of Africa, when I said the Near Asian, the Near East, the West, or the Middle Eastern Asians. If you look at that landscape of the people, they participated in slavery a hell of a lot more than white folks did. But
it was different,
you do not see. But that's what I'm saying. That's the difference. There is a difference between what happened over there in the in the Asian area around, the Persian Gulf and all those areas, and what happened on the western coast.
Yeah, it was normally part of paying off a debt of some kind, or losing a war or something like that, and you could go free from that at some point.
I understand that, but that's what I'm saying. The reason why we couldn't go free because we were chattel. We were like cows, chicken, eggs. We were less than. We were just like somebody's dog or somebody who owns a pig farm or somebody who owns a ranch.
Okay.
We were viewed as a commodity.
Okay.
And that's where I think that we're going to differ. I'm
not disagreeing with you. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm talking more about the origins than I am what actually occurred.
Well, I don't know how you can separate the origins because they diverged at the same time.
It didn't though, because there was a point. They didn't know because there was a point where there was a point where indentured servitude was the order of the day, and everybody could be enslaved, including black folks enslaving white folks. It changed. It became racialized so that they could monetize it. And so listen,
Exactly.
let me tell you something.
Any flavor is monetized.
Let me tell you
I'm
something.
sorry, Eric. Every flavor is monetized.
That's how I started the show. But if you read, if you haven't already, read Nicole Hannah-Jones's book 1619, and she talks about the transition, how it became a ploy to monetize enslaving people, but the only way they could do it and do it widespread is to identify certain people and make them animalistic in order to justify it.
And that's exactly what I'm saying. That is exactly what I'm saying.
And so what I was saying was that they started off knowing better. They started off knowing better, and they purposely decided to deploy a campaign so that people would accept it.
Well, that's why we differ. That's why we differ.
No, it's history. We can't differ on what happened.
No. Yeah, we can disagree on the history from the standpoint that regional divergence also happened to the Native Americans.
You're talking about something else. You're talking about something else, man. You're talking about something else. Have you read the 1619 Project? Have you read that yet?
No, I haven't read 1619, but I do know about slavery. I know how they enslaved the Chinese people. I do know how the Middle East enslaved black folks.
Right, but they didn't. But they didn't animalize. They didn't make them into objects. It was different. Okay, so this is where we're going to end this. This is how we're going to end this.
Yeah,
we're going to talk about it next time.
Okay.
And I'm going to. You send me an email with your address, and I'm going to send you a copy of the 1619 Project. Can you do that?
I have it in my living room. It's on my coffee table.
Well, why don't you read it, man?
Well, no. Hey, send me another copy.
But you need to sign it for
crack.
him. You need to sign it for him.
Sign it. I didn't write the book.
No, but just sign it too.
Earl's on crack, man.
Earl from Eric.
What you need another copy for? You got a copy.
So you can sign it.
Listen, if you listen, I'll do this for you, just so you can be lazy about it. If you send me an email, I'll send you a copy of the audiobook. How about that?
Say yes, Earl. Say yes.
Say yes. You better take it, man.
I don't want him to have a heart attack. Nobody had no heart attack.
I told you crazy. I told you Earl crazy. That's why don't nobody like you, man. See there?
That's terrible.
Earl, thanks, man.
All right, guys. Have a good day.
Thanks,
Send that email, Earl.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. I told you Earl crazy, man. That's crazy, man. It's crazy. Off the chain crazy, man. It's getting hot. Is it getting hot?
No, it's you.
I have a little private.
You got all worked up.
No, this is a heavy sweater, too. That's how I do, man. All right, y'all. Stay tuned for more of the family meeting.
Listening to the family meeting. This is Kevin Pitch from the Performance Consulting Group. We will be right back.
Itsashort.com. The website is itsashort.com, spelled ITSASHORT.com. We are the best designation on the internet for award-winning short film, video, and web series. Artists are from all over the world. They are award-winning from various festivals, but you can find us at info@itsashort.com, customer care at itsashort.com, and we'll get back to you straight away.
We do. We buy, we sell, we move, we store. Anything, anytime, anywhere. We do. The company that handles all your stuff. If you have anything that you want to do something with, please call us. We buy, sell, move, store, donate, discard. Anything, anytime, anywhere. eBay plus U-Haul equals we do. We are moving at the speed of life. Call Terry Calloway, 312-343-9973, or via email, contact him at terrycalloway58@gmail.com.
A Single K plan is a 401k plan designed especially for business owners and immediate family, regardless if they are incorporated or not. Single Ks offer both employer and employee contributions and in many cases have no setup fee or annual plan administrative charges. Single Ks are simple to administer with no government reporting required. Most importantly, this plan allows employees to access their savings via hardship withdrawals or loans. Visit our website at polarisadvice.com or call us about your business or organization's retirement plan at 312-951-2606 or email us at polaris@polarisadvice.com. That's 312-951-2606 or email us at polaris@polarisadvice.com. Polaris provides empowering advice for everyone.
Securities offered through Lion Street Financial LLC, member FINRA, and SIPC. Investment advisor services offered through Lion Street Advisors LLC, registered investment advisors. Polaris Wealth Management and Lion Street Financial are not affiliated.
This is Matt Fisher. You can find me at Mr_Funny87 at Twitter. And welcome back to Family Meeting.
Yeah, y'all. It's, yeah. For those of you watching on YouTube, I gave you a little skin there. You see that? Huh? Woo! Little skin there, man. Little cleavage.
Little cleavage.
That's right, man. Hey, man. Let's see what's on Diane's mind, shan't we? Hey, Diane, how are you?
Hi, Diane.
Hi. I'd like to touch on a couple of points, if I can, real quick.
Certainly.
First, journalism and journalists are being slaughtered. Mexico, the Mexican cartel, was top #1 in the world for killing journalists. No, now they're second. Israel and the Israeli army. Any journalist that goes into Gaza is taking the life in their own hands because a lot of them are being assassinated. More assassination of journalists are being assassinated in Gaza than in Mexico by the Mexican cartel, and that says a lot. So they're the world leader now in killing journalists. How's that one for you? And that's set up by Bibi. So there you go on that one.
Yeah.
All right. And then there's a book, all right? It's called Confessions of an Economic Hitman. He wrote his first one, and I think it was in 2004. All right. He's an insider. He was an economic hitman. His name, John Perkins. What he did is he outed the CIA, a.k.a. Criminals in Action. All right. He outed them. All right, the CIA has been running around Central and South America since 1948. Let's start with Honduras, all right? Coca-Cola Corporation in 1948. Our CIA, when it was first formed, went and assassinated the leader of the country to put in a dictator so they'd be loyal to the United States government and Coca-Cola Corporation. Now, let's take it all the way down to Chile. Central and South America, we've got El Salvador, San Salvador. All of those countries, we've wiped out leaders that are what we would call left-wing, all right, a liberal, democracy, dictators, wiped them out. All right, if they didn't go, the job of the economic hitman is they come in first and they try and bribe them. And if they weren't up for the bribery, then the CIA jackals would come in and assassinate them and install, through various means, dictators that were loyal to United States interests and United States corporations. The big one would have to be Chile. Assassination of President Allende into the installation of Pinochet. And look at how brutal Pinochet was. He liked to take any journalist who spoke out against him. Anybody, any political dissidents, anybody who spoke out against him, throw them in helicopters, bring them over the ocean, slit their gut, and throw them into the ocean so the sharks would get them. And there were people at the insurrection that were wearing helicopters. All right, remember those T-shirts that they were wearing when they were running around? All right, and it said something about the helicopters. That's what it was talking about. That's what they want to do to us, anybody who speaks out. All right, and I suggest, because what John Perkins did is he went through Central and South America, and then he has the second book. He actually has 3. Now, he's an insider. He was a hitman. All right. So this is a tell-all book, and he's wrote 3.
What's the name of the book again? What's the name of the book, Diane?
Confessions of
Confessions of an Economic Hitman by John Perkins.
Okay, I'm going to have to look that up. Diane, we're up against the clock here.
Okay.
Thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Diane.
Okay, I'll call him next week.
Please do.
I'll call him next week.
Okay. Thanks.
You have a great week.
You too.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Well, Diane's one of those.
Yeah. We like
Yeah,
Diane.
the other thing is, you ever been on the phone with somebody who you can't say bye to?
Yeah, right.
Okay, I'll see you later. Yeah, have a good day. Okay, you too. No, you know. Make
We'll
sure
talk to you next week. I'll call you
we'll talk to you next week. Yeah, they go on with their goodbye stuff. Diane's one of those. Okay, so that's interesting. I was thinking to myself this morning as someone in the news was talking about the Orange Menace's fines in New York, that $500 million he owes. Dude said, just because he couldn't shut up.
It's true.
You got to pay $500 million because you can't shut up.
Cannot.
All he had to do is be quiet. That's all he had to do.
Not in him anywhere.
Now he's $500 million light for that, and he run around saying, "I ain't got it all."
Right.
Can I put something on it?
Right. What did Chubb do? Chubb Insurance?
Chubb Insurance. If you have Chubb insuring anything that you own, I would cancel that right away. Not because they've aligned themselves with him, but he ain't going to pay them.
Right.
They're going to be $500 million short.
Yepper.
Oh, my God. Why would they do that? Why would they take that risk?
Somebody's got something on somebody.
Oh, my God.
You know, if everybody was living right, we wouldn't have half of these problems. It feels like half of the country's under blackmail.
The amount of money, though, $500 million.
Yeah.
It had me wondering, okay, how much money is enough?
That's a really good question. I ask that question all the time.
How many, you know, not that you shouldn't be able to go out and, because that's where they go right away.
I'd never, ever begrudge anybody making a living and making billions of dollars, but come on. Some of these people can literally.
When is it enough?
That's what I'm saying.
How much, you know, could you possibly have and spend across many lifetimes?
Not that.
I don't want to have a conversation about capitalism.
Yeah.
American way. That ain't what I'm talking about. I'm talking about just practically speaking.
Yeah. If
you got Bezos money, $400 billion or something like that, do you know how much money that is? I mean, what? How many boats? How many times you want to go to space? I mean, what?
I know. Between them, they could all end all of this. Homelessness.
At a point, it's
hunger.
Gaudy. It's just gaudy.
It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
We sound like haters, right? We sound like haters. I don't mean to sound like I'm not a hater. I mean, I want to make a lot of money.
I do too.
I want $1 billion.
Like tomorrow.
but what would you do if you had $1 billion?
I don't want $1 billion, but I wouldn't turn it down if it happened to. If I happened to be blessed with it, I would do what I'm talking about. I would help people. I honestly believe that because I do that now. I would help end homeless. You know what? There's no reason why any of us should walk by people who are sitting in the street with their entire family begging for money. That's just. I don't think that that's necessary. Why is that happening? It shouldn't.
Doesn't make any sense. Or that anybody's hungry. Why
right.
Would that happen
Exactly. Shouldn't. I was talking to a friend the other day about going to a game in a booth or box, and after the game was over, all this food was left over. So I was asking, where's this food going to go? Are there containers for those of us who were here so we can take some home? And they were like, no. And I said, what are you going to do with it? And they said, we throw it away.
Yeah.
That's just sinful. 10 other people could have eaten what we left behind.
Yeah. I remember when I was in New York 20 years ago, the same thing happened. We had an event and it was leftover food. And I said, well, let me take it to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
They said, cool. So I put a cover over it. I took it outside and I ran into a dude who was homeless. I said, dude, I just left here. You want this food?
Yep.
He said, where'd it come from? He was suspicious of it.
Sure.
And he actually passed on it. Nah, man, I don't know you. I don't know where they came from. Maybe some poison in there, man. I'm not going to mess with you.
Maybe it was there because they take food here.
Well, I mean,
just got man food
think about
yesterday.
the world you live in.
Sure.
Well, that's your concern.
Sure. Yeah.
You know.
Before you go on to something else, can we thank our YouTube people?
YouTube
people. T. Hudgens, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly.
He's a bit of a
Bill
funketeer.
Foltz, he's there all the time.
He's a funketeer.
Warner, and there's one more, I think. Ronald Williams and Jay Solomon. Thank you guys for hanging in there. No, and I know that you wanted to kind of see me too, but I'm happy that you couldn't.
Wait a minute, they couldn't see you?
No, they can only see you today.
That's not what we want. We don't want to see me.
Worked out just fine.
They would rather see you than me.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, well, that's unfortunate. I didn't know that was going on. But you know why it is? Because Bobby Longstroke ain't here. You hear that, Paul? Bobby Longstroke ain't here, man. Bobby Longstroke know how to work the cameras. He probably took him all week to cut that mustache off that he had.
I hope he didn't. He's going on our website. I got a good picture of him.
Oh, that's right.
I
Yeah.
did.
Okay.
A good picture of him.
He can't get away with that. Hey, listen. To my way of thinking, this quote-unquote border crisis, I feel like Biden could go a long way towards solving it without the help of Congress, with diplomacy. He should call in the leaders of these countries down in South America and say, why?
Couldn't hurt.
Right. So listen, here's the deal. That's what he does, right? Here's the deal. And give them a framework for stopping whatever the hell they're doing that has people fleeing. He could solve that with diplomacy. But he allows himself to get dragged into the discussion about the border and walls and security and all that other stuff. That ain't the problem.
Mm-hmm.
That is not the problem.
Right. But it's the squeaky wheel, right?
It is a problem. You're right. It is a problem, but it's not the problem.
Right.
He could solve it with diplomacy. And so that's what I'm asking of Biden. That's my expectation of him.
Well, I'm glad you finally hit on it. I'm happy to hear that.
Are you really?
I am.
Thank you, pal.
So let's work on this diplomacy.
Thank you, pal.
You're welcome.
Makes me feel better about myself.
You're welcome, buddy.
Yeah. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. No, but really, I mean, so yeah, you got to ask yourself, why wouldn't he just do that?
Well, we don't know that he hasn't tried, though.
It's not something you try to do, though. That's not, these people, the world revolves around money.
Yes.
He needs to go down there with a big bag of money.
Okay.
And say, stop that.
Is that diplomacy?
That's how diplomacy works.
Okay.
What are you going to give me so that I stop
So that I stop abusing my own people.
I mean, they're already giving tons and tons of resources in the form of produce and minerals.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about adding something to the kitty. And I'm not talking about bribes. I'm talking about economic viability.
Right. Okay.
You know, maybe the deal involves allowing U.S. Home builders to come down there and participate in the effort. The Army Corps of Engineers is an expert at solving infrastructure problems anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
They did it in New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just infrastructure. It's not just housing. It's the economic viability. It's the pay scales. It's
right.
It's all manner of things.
Right.
People are fleeing because it's dangerous. They could be killed, one. And two, because there's no economic viability. Well, the dangerous part is having to do with the drug cartels and that kind of thing.
Yep.
Maybe he needs to meet with the drug cartel and say, yo, we ain't stopping drug use, but y'all need to quit killing people. Really, first off, you can't stop drug abuse. You can't stop that.
No.
You ain't going to stop them from doing that.
No.
You only can control it.
Right.
Controlling it is a cutout for legalize it, right?
And it depends on what it is, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, here, we'll give y'all, we'll let y'all participate in the weed business. We're legalizing weed everywhere. Why not?
That I agree with.
This is a diplomacy problem. And to be dragged into this thing about the wall, I won't. I won't be dragged into that. Not that it makes a difference where I get dragged. Nobody care about where I get dragged to.
But you know that video we watched when the commentator, the interviewer, was asking all those people, how has the border, how has this crisis affected you? And all of those people said, not at all.
Except the Canadian dude.
Yeah, that's right. Because he was an immigrant.
Yeah, what's he doing here?
Right.
He's an illegal.
Right.
But they don't view him as illegal because that's not the face of illegals. Mm-hmm. Illegals is not even a thing. It's undocumented is the word.
Yep.
I don't know, man. Here we are again, faced with no good answers. Lots of discussion.
We're going to start writing letters, sending emails. That's what we're going to do.
To who?
To the president.
Well, that'll work.
See, it's people like you. You don't know. One letter could change something. You don't know unless you write it. You don't know if you don't make the call. You just don't know unless you do it. Why are we going to sit here and just talk about it, not do anything? Let's do something.
These people react to money.
Okay.
Nice letter, great penmanship, very well worded, but, I guess everyone, it depends on who writes the letter.
Well, it could be all of us.
Okay, you heard it from Michelle then. Better start writing.
We'll let you know where to send the letter.
Yeah. All right, y'all. That's all the time we have. I want to thank you for yours. Did I see a bug? Michelle, thank you for the news.
Yep.
And Paul, thank you, partner. You're not Bobby Longstroke, but you're my man. Tune into the family meeting every Sunday at 4.
I cannot.
I know, you can't, can you? Wait till Bobby gets back.
Oh, my God.
Tune into the family meeting every Sunday at 4. I'm your host, Eric Grant. Peace.
You know the Steve, big CEO, sex OT, Mac game similar next to Goldie Flex. You might feel, man, creeping through your room late at night. It's hell, or water better stead, so get it right. You be like
NBC News Radio. I'm Chris Coraggio. Top lawmaker.